Hey there, YouTube. I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all had a beautiful week out there. It's been hot as usual here in South Alabama, but that's okay. I do my thing every morning. I get up and hydrate with watermelon juice first thing before any food hits my stomach. Today I want to talk about high raw food diet and digestion, because this is what determines what I eat. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you go down and hit that big red subscribe button right now. Yep, do it right now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. I think about digestion all the time, and I was talking about digestion a couple of days ago with my new friend that's living here with me right now. And also, too, it kind of came into my head when I went to Pensacola on Wednesday, because when I went to Pensacola on Wednesday, I went to my little vegan restaurant, and I got a jackfruit sandwich, and I got some vegan potato salad to go with that on the side. And we got talking about a lot of different things food-wise, and this just kind of way I always think. Now that stuff, that's just play right there. That's something I do maybe once a month or so, you know, when I go down to Pensacola, but that's not for reals. But how, as it relates to digestion, this is where the conversation was kind of going, and that's the reason I referenced that. I was talking about, I have limits. I have certain things, even when I'm playing like that, when I go away and eat at a restaurant, like there's certain things I can't do. I can't eat so much, or certain things combined a certain way. But okay, in general, you guys have been watching, some of you have been watching me for a long time, so you've heard me talk about digestion before. Everything is about the digestion for me. Let me just repeat that. Everything's about the digestion for me. Well, not literally. Let me just say that too, because people will take something I say literally. It's not 100%, like I'm not 100% about digestion. There's other factors that I think about, like certain nutritional things I need to get in there, like getting my greens in and getting in particular micronutrients. But in general, that still fits in with what I'm talking about here of how it digests. If it doesn't digest well for me, it's just not going to work. And that leads me, and that kind of keeps me on a fairly clean path on this lifestyle, because I don't have a lot of choices. I'm kind of a baby. I don't like an upset stomach. I don't like bad digestion. I don't like heartburn. I don't like indigestion. I don't like to be stopped up. I don't like to go too much. I really like for my digestion to just be steady all the time. And I've come to learn throughout the years, you know, what, when to eat that works the best for me. And now to start with, I have very good digestion. Before I started this lifestyle, before I was vegan, before I was raw, I had what I consider, well, that's relative. I had what I considered was good digestion, you know, just for the average everyday person. I never experienced, you know, a lot of constipation. I didn't have a lot of diarrhea or, like, you know, going too much. But once I went vegan, once I went raw, mostly raw vegan, I did realize that there's a whole different world of digestion. Because, like, there's certain little things. I remember when I ate a standard American diet, and I remember even when I would get into a healthy phase, and I would eat even a cleaner version of a standard American diet, and certain things just, you know, you'd wake up one day and you were like, oh, I got a funky stomach. That particular phrase, I remember saying that so many times down in Costa Rica, and, you know, there was drinking involved a lot, but I've got a funky stomach. I don't know. I don't know what I ate. Now it's kind of like I could probably, you know, the way I eat and how I think about eating, I could probably, anytime I feel anything that's a little bit off in my digestion, I can go to it immediately. I'm like, well, I knew if I ate this, this, or this. So I eat accordingly. I hate anything that gives me kind of a little bit of heartburn and indigestion. And that's why I talk about the high raw food diet. You know, I don't eat 100% raw now here in Alabama. I just can't keep my weight up if I do. I'm always struggling to keep my weight. So, you know, I add sweet potatoes in there. I eat other things from time to time. But as I've really honed in and found in the last 6 to 8 months, even if I'm eating cooked food, what works for me the best. And it's like another thing I should mention too, as far as digestion goes, I believe, like, people are always asking me about food combining. Here's my thoughts on the food combining as it leads to digestion. That's kind of an individual thing. I recommend that everybody follow food combining to a certain extent. Now, not everybody has to be an absolute fanatic about it. Like, what I'm saying is, if you'll just Google like food combining, vegan food combining, fruit combining, you'll get a few charts that will come up in there. And I'm not a fanatic on that. I don't have to be an absolute literal fanatic about every rule, and you can figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Some of them I do follow to a T. Melons I don't mix with anything. There are certain fruits that they're not ideal to mix together, but I mean, like I say, you're going to just have to find what your boundaries are. Like, for instance, I don't do this all the time, but sometimes, like, I'll make ice cream with some almond butter, or sometimes I'll make a salad dressing with mango and I'll put some tahini in there. Strictly speaking, that's not proper food combining to add the fat with the fruit. But like I say, I know, how my boundaries, what I can do and what I can't do. But in general, I pretty much follow decent food combining. I've found another thing that works for me is, and I can't always do it, but when I do, I feel my best and my digestion really gets good. I like to start it off in the morning, like I say, with the hydration. Year-round, almost, there's hydration before I eat in the morning, and I just kind of feel like that just kind of eases you into the day, gets those cells popping and gets you ready for the food. And then I'm always, it's always been like that ever since I've been on this raw thing. It's always fruit till lunch. You've got the lighter on your stomach until lunch. And if possible, absolutely optimal for me, and I did this a lot more when I was in Costa Rica and I had access to a lot different fruits. I like to get the higher water content fruits in earlier. And then, just throughout the day I mix in, I'll have like I just had a green smoothie a little while ago, and I will have, like I'll have a salad. My bigger meal, like if I have a salad and I add some cooked food with it, or if I have some cooked food, or whatever my biggest meal is typically during the middle of the day. I know a lot of raw foodists out there and a lot of whole food plant-based people do that whole thing. They cruise and then they like to do dinner. Well, I tend to finish up my eating fairly early in the day, and that's why I'll do my lunch or I'll do my bigger meal during the middle of the day. Now, certain things I've found too in regards to digestion, and that's why I've honed it in and I do what I do most of the time. I have found with the cooked food, the little bit of cooked food I add in with my mostly raw, I've found the things that digest and keep me feeling the same as if I was eating fully raw. And a lot of you have heard me talk about this, probably over talk about this, but it's the sweet potatoes. I have found, and I eat other potatoes too. I eat russet potatoes. I eat the little red potatoes sometimes, just depending on availability and how good the sweet potatoes look. And all the potatoes digest fine for me, but the sweet potatoes or something, with that sweetness, it's more sugar than it is starch. It just digests even better. Like, I can put 3 big sweet potatoes on a large salad, and that's just beautiful. I get full. That's the perfect one right there. I feel full. I'm getting in a lot of calories, and it doesn't slow down my digestion at all. There's certain things, like I say, I've experimented with different cooked foods, and there's certain things that they don't leave me feeling bad. And not like some dramatic thing, but they leave me feeling with just a little bit of just a little too much there. And there's combinations. If I start feeling like, in the way I live now, I won't accept indigestion or heartburn. If I feel even the slightest bit of indigestion and heartburn, whatever I just ate, the combination I just did, I won't say I'll never do it again, but I'm very aware of that. And I'm very aware of how everything that I eat, everything that I put into my body is going to leave me feeling afterward. And that determines what I eat. Because as I was telling my new roommate, I'm a big baby. I am a huge baby. I was never sick much as a kid. Knock on wood, don't want to jinx myself. I've just never dealt with a lot of sickness and pain, and I hate to be sick. I don't like a headache. I don't like a stomach ache. I will moan over the slightest thing. I'm just not used to it. So my stomach, I don't even understand people that know eating a certain food is going to do something horrific. I'm not even talking about just feeling, I'm very picky. I just don't even want to feel remotely bad. But I know people that they know eating this certain food is going to leave them horrific. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't know. I have found that a lot of people have a lot more tolerance for pain and discomfort than I do. I'm a bit of a hedonist. I want to feel good all the time, and if I don't, I'm not a happy camper. But digestion, if you're like, I just think that is just such a good measure for the state of health, and it's just been one of my biggest benefits ever since coming to this lifestyle, that I just feel good, I feel light, I feel clean all the time. I think when we're eating correctly, the body, I mean, you know, we're not keeping any of that food in our body for a long time like we do on the standard American diet thing. We're constantly keeping clean. You know, you just don't have that bloated, like your colon's full feeling. And I tell you, if you will do a little research on your own, and then also just do a little experimenting and open up your intuition a little bit, you can figure out your body. Your body is your body. My body is my body. I'm never going to be that one to say that eating like me will do something for you. I know people that eat clean as I do. I know people that eat cleaner than I do. I know people that eat, I couldn't find a flaw in their diet, and they don't have as good a digestion. So there are exceptions to this. But I'm going to tell you something. I feel good every day. Going to the bathroom is regular. I always have energy. I don't feel weighed down. And a lot of the times I can tell you what's going to come by how my digestion feels. I can even sometimes predict a headache if I eat certain things the wrong way. But anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. But I'll look into food, combining, digestion, things like that. And like I say, do like I do. Go on a journey. Learn this stuff for yourself. Figure it out. Experiment and see what happens. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in a couple of days this weekend. Peace.